Nobody expected Saturday at Pocono to go this way. Kyle Larson, the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion, walked into race weekend as one of the favorites. By Saturday afternoon, his team was already in crisis mode. A key crew member was gone, pit strategy was compromised, and the entire Hendrick Motorsports organization was scrambling before a single green flag lap had even been completed. But here is the part that nobody is talking about enough. Despite everything that went wrong, and a lot went wrong, Larson still nearly competed for the win. How that happened reveals something deeply important about where the number 5 team actually stands right now. And it connects directly to a second story that completely rewrote the championship narrative by Sunday evening. Because while everyone was watching Larson's situation unravel, one veteran driver was quietly building something historic at the tricky triangle. Something that now has every championship contender genuinely worried. Stay with this, because the twist at the end of this race changes everything heading into the final stretch of the 2026 regular season. If this kind of daily NASCAR coverage is what you have been looking for, hit that like button now and subscribe to NASCAR Shock Zone. This channel is still new and growing, pushing toward 2,000 subscribers, and every single person who joins from the beginning makes this community stronger. This was race 16 of the 2026 Cup Series season. Every point on the board matters enormously right now. The playoff field is tightening, the bubble is shifting, and teams that make costly mistakes this deep into the regular season may not recover. That pressure was already hanging over the entire garage when Pocono Raceway opened its gates Saturday morning. Then the inspection results came in. According to Kelly Randall from Racer, Kyle Larson's number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet failed pre-race inspection twice on Saturday. The penalties from NASCAR were swift and significant. The number 5 team immediately lost all pit stall selection for the entire weekend. Car chief Jesse Saunders was ejected from the track and barred from any further involvement in the race weekend. Gone. Just like that. It did not stop there. Daniel Dye's number 78 Live Fast Motorsports Chevrolet also failed inspection twice, receiving identical penalties. Engineer Chris Stanley was ejected as well. Both cars eventually passed on the third attempt, barely avoiding in-race penalties that would have caused even greater damage. The number 6, 23, and 60 cars were also sent to the rear for unapproved adjustments. The entire pre-race environment had turned completely chaotic. But here is what made this even more uncomfortable. Larson entered Pocono still winless in the 2026 season. The defending champion, winless. Every week without a victory adds more weight to an already heavy question. When does the drought end? And now, on top of that pressure, his team had just handed NASCAR exactly the kind of ammunition that forces organizational changes on the worst possible weekend. However, what happened next completely silenced the noise. Despite the penalties, despite losing Jesse Saunders, despite the disrupted pit strategy and the operational chaos, Larson went out during practice and posted a lap of 170.707 miles per hour, topping the entire speed chart. Not just in single-lap speed. He also led the entire field in 10-lap average speed, which is the number that truly matters. That is the number that tells you a car can actually win a race, not just qualify well. Then in qualifying, Larson earned a front-row starting position with the second fastest lap of the session. The message was loud and unmistakable. The number 5 car had both short-run pace and long-run race-winning speed. The penalties hurt the operation. They did not hurt the car. What fans didn't see, however, was how deeply the loss of pit stall selection and Saunders would affect real-time decision-making during the race. Pit stall position is not just a comfort. It determines track position after stops, traffic exposure, and the margin for error on pit road. Losing that advantage against drivers like Denny Hamlin, Tyler Reddick, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney is a genuine competitive cost that does not show up on a speed chart. NASCAR also moved the race start from 3 p.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Time due to incoming weather concerns across the Pocono Mountains, compressing preparation time even further. Everything that could add pressure to the number 5 team did exactly that before Sunday's green flag. The real question entering race day was no longer about speed. It was about whether Larson and a compromised operation could hold together under the most intense competitive pressure in the sport. And the answer, ultimately, was complicated. Because while that story was developing, Denny Hamlin was doing something that no one in his 21-year full-time career had ever done before. 3 consecutive wins. Nashville, Michigan, Pocono. Hamlin won the Great American Getaway 400, holding off the number 45-23-11 Racing Toyota of Tyler Reddick by 1.678 seconds in a race that was decided not by luck or strategy gambles, but by pure, undeniable control. The number 11 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota was strong all afternoon. Hamlin won Stage 1, passing Larson with 6 laps remaining. The race swung decisively on the final restart, and once Hamlin reached the front, nobody came close. This was not a fortunate win. This was a statement. Historically, the magnitude is significant. Hamlin now has 64 career Cup Series victories, placing him 9th on the all-time wins list, and moving him directly past the late 2-time champion Kyle Busch. It was also his record 8th win at Pocono Raceway, a track that has simply become his personal property. He has now won 4 of the last 5 races. After the checkered flag, Hamlin did not hold back. Just so special here. The pit crew is flawless right now. We've just got it all going. On his team's confidence heading into the final stretch, he was equally direct. I'd say it's certainly the best we've been. We come to the race track every week knowing that we've got a great shot to win. That confidence is now the most dangerous thing in the entire Cup Series garage. Here is why. Tyler Reddick led the championship standings by triple digits earlier this season. After Pocono, that lead has been cut to just 19 points, the smallest margin all year. Reddick acknowledged the damage plainly. It's a bummer. Scoring the points we just didn't get the job done. Only 10 races remain to set the 16-driver playoff field. And the uncomfortable reality that nobody wants to say out loud is this. Hamlin co-owns Reddick's 23-11 racing team. The man chasing the championship also signs the checks for the team currently leading it. But the most heartbreaking moment of the entire race weekend belonged to Christopher Bell. His number 20 JGR team was buried outside the top 20 for most of the afternoon. With nothing to lose, crew chief Adam Stevens made the boldest call of a race. Stretched the fuel window from an estimated 42 laps to a full 53 laps, pitting for the final time on lap 107 of 160. Bell built a 17-second lead over Hamlin, while Stevens coached him through careful throttle and RPM management lap by lap. For a moment, it genuinely looked like it might work. Then, with 4 laps remaining, Hamlin ran Bell down and took the lead. And coming to the white flag, just 1 lap from the finish, Bell's fuel tank ran completely dry. He fell from potential victory contention all the way to 26th place. Stevens captured the brutal reality in 6 words, just a lap and a quarter short. What fans didn't know was that Bell was also racing through a fractured left wrist suffered the previous week at Michigan. He wore a custom-molded black cast fitted precisely to his steering wheel grip, with NASCAR O'Reilly Series driver Brandon Jones on standby as a relief option. Bell completed all 400 miles. The injury limited his ability to make sharp, quick corrections during restarts, adding a physical dimension to an already devastating strategic result. His response afterward was measured and determined. I feel confident that our time will come. Away from the headline drama, Legacy Motor Club delivered their most complete performance of the season. John Hunter Nemechek led a race-best 42 laps, more than he led across the entire 2024 and 2025 seasons combined, finishing 4th. Eric Jones crossed 6th, his second straight top 10 finish, continuing to fight for his playoff life. Legacy's partnership with Joe Gibbs Racing this season is clearly generating real results, and this type of weekend can completely change momentum inside an organization. The playoff bubble remains razor-thin. Shane Van Gisbergen sits 14th, just 10 points clear of the cut line. Eric Jones and Austin Cindric are 15th and 16th, both only 4 points above the line. Brad Keselowski is 17th, 21 points outside, with Joey Logano equally desperate at 21 points out of 16th place. Every single position matters from here forward. Final top 10. Hamlin, Reddick, Byron, Nemechek, Larson, Jones, Bisher, Chastain, Ty Gibbs, Blaney. Chase Elliott finished 11th. Bell ended 26th. Logano 34th. Keselowski 38th. Post-race, numbers 5, 7, 12, 17, 42, and 45 were sent to the NASCAR R&D Center for further inspection. 3 straight wins is not a hot streak. It is a takeover. Larson proved the talent, and the car are still elite. 5th place despite everything confirms the number 5 team belongs at the front. But the winless drought continues, and that question grows louder every week. Hamlin has momentum, history, and now a championship margin that changes everything. Bell lost it all with 1 lap remaining. Legacy Motor Club finally found something real, and the bubble teams are running out of room. This is NASCAR Shock Zone, daily coverage, honest analysis, real passion for this sport. We are a new channel chasing 2,000 subscribers, and every person who subscribes right now genuinely helps build something worth watching. If this video delivered for you, like it, subscribe, and share it with a NASCAR fan who needs to see this. Now tell us in the comments, what impressed you more? Kyle Larson overcoming brutal pre-race penalties to finish top 5, or Denny Hamlin making history with 3 straight wins at Pocono? Drop your answer below. This debate is just getting started.